My name is Mallory Vaughn.
I am Josh Carster.
My name is Shelby Stringer.
My name is Devin Morrow.
My name is Austin Messner.
My name is Emily Fryman.
My name is Peyton Vernon.
I actually chose to become involved in medicine for a number of reasons. I always knew I loved science, so that to me was easy. The medicine part kind of came in when I was 8 years old. My grandmother was first diagnosed with needing a stent. So since then, she's had numerous surgeries to kind of maintain her heart function, and to me, that was kind of what spurred it. So from that point on, I've loved it. I've kind of kept up with it, furthered my interest in it, shadowed within medicine in a couple of different fields prior to medical school. So that's what drew me in.
Well, for me, I got interested in medicine sort of in high school. I knew I liked the sciences, and I liked helping people. So that was sort of, I knew I wanted to do something in healthcare. Became an EMT, became a medical scribe, and that sort of pushed me in the direction of doctor.
So for me, medicine started when I was really young. I had back surgery when I was in the 6th grade. I was a cheerleader and fractured my back on both sides. I was really scared. No one in my family had ever had like a major surgery or anything like that. And I can distinctly remember being at Kosare and the doctors just being so friendly, and the anesthesiologist I had was the funniest guy, I swear. He just made me feel really comfortable and made me feel like everything was gonna be okay. So that was the one memory that I remember, and it just was I want to do that when I get older.
So like many other medical students, I had several experiences actually with medicine growing up, injuries playing sports, and just the way that I was taken care of by those medical professionals made me think that it was something that I wanted to spend my life doing, helping people in that way.
I first got interested in medicine in high school. We had a shadowing program. I shadowed a local doctor in the area and got to see him have an impact on a lot of people's lives. Just got really interested in the diagnostic aspect of medicine, solving puzzles and stuff.
A day in life in the medical student, you can pretty much surmise in there's a lot of studying, but typically we start our morning off with anywhere of 3 to 4 hours of lecture time. And I say lecture time, and that can be in person streaming from Lexington, or that could be a couple of pre-recorded podcasts that they require for us. And then after that, it's truly up to the student what your day looks like. Some of us is shadowing, studying, ICM, which is our Intro to Clinical Medicine course. So we kind of do that across our first and 1 year. So that kind of sums up what your day could look like.
So my day, of course, we have classes from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. But I get here around 6:30, 7 o'clock, eat some breakfast with my study group, and get a little pre-work in, reviewing materials that are going to be lectured that morning. And then I stay here probably until dinner time, 4 or 5 o'clock every day.
So for me, typical day looks like I get up at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, come here, just sort of relax, maybe do a little bit of studying before class, and usually sit in class from 8 till 11 in the morning. Then after that, I'll actually go home, because I live pretty close to the school. Go home, eat lunch with my wife and my little boy, and then come back and study till about 5 o'clock. So I treat it like a business day. I probably get here a little earlier than most, get here around 5:30, study until class at 8, class from 8 to 11. I go home get lunch too, let the dog out, come back, and I'll usually stay until about 4. And then that way I can go home, spend time with my wife, not worry about school all afternoon, and then just get up and do it again.
I like to be outside a lot. My friends and I, we like to go play disc golf and play regular golf. And there's a lot of great spaces to do that here.
I take my dogs on walks all the time. I literally call Shelby at least 4 times a day. Can't imagine what I would do without her here. You still have your best friends, you still have time to go out to eat, you still have time to talk to your family. I do all the things I did before medical school.
So I think the UK does a very good job with their curriculum, preparing us for 3rd and 4th year rotations, as well as just life as a physician after that.
And I think the big thing this year for me that is going to prepare us for 3rd year would be our ICM class. That's our Intro to Clinical Medicine. And in that class, we get to interview patients, we get to work with standardized patients, and we get to do kind of physical exams, ask them questions, learn how to do a patient interview.
So that's very helpful to be able to get your feet wet interviewing and not doing it for the first time in 3rd year in front of a real patient. We have OSCEs that we do as part of certain courses, and those are basically just examinations of certain clinical skills that we need to have mastered. And again, that's just very helpful to have that done in a safe environment before having to do them on real patients.
So I think that that has been really beneficial to us, and it will only help us in the future.
Having our lectures broadcast from Lexington may sound weird at first, but the reality of it is I love it. So it kind of gives us the opportunity to be part of the lecture, even though we are many, many miles away in Bowling Green. So for us, it's just a live stream feed in. And we do have the opportunity to buzz in and ask questions in real time. So we hear Lexington questions, Lexington hears Bowling Green questions. So it's a very organic process, and they've done really, really well with adapting to having two different bodies of students watching them. And all of those are recorded on Echo, so we can go back and look. So I actually really enjoy it thus far.
Yeah, so obviously coming from undergrad to medical school, it's a big transition.
I think the biggest thing is kind of transitioning from your undergraduate education to the medical school. Curriculum, I think it's just a whole different type of studying and just figuring out what study styles work best for you.
You kind of just learn that by just jumping in feet first.
Luckily, you start out with anatomy, which isn't that much of a step up from undergrad. It's definitely more difficult, in my opinion. But they give you an opportunity to get your feet wet, figure everything out, and then they ramp it up with foundations, the second class you'll take. And that's definitely tougher. You'll have to change your study habits, which is something that was hard for me, not only just having to study more, but then study differently. That was probably the biggest challenge that I faced personally.
I know personally, my study skills from undergrad to anatomy were completely different. And then I had to change my study skills again, moving from anatomy to foundations, which is the next course in the curriculum. And so just being able to evaluate yourself honestly, knowing when and how to make changes was the biggest struggle that I faced, because I wanted to hold on to my previous habits longer than I should have, because like most people, your old study habits are what got you where you are, and they were successful. And so it's hard to change those sometimes.
Being a medical student is a feat in itself. And one of the biggest things I think I've faced is not necessarily understanding how much time it's going to take. During introduction week, Dr. Fedog gave us this big ordeal and schedule of what our week might look like. And he said, you're going to do 70 hours. Easy. So I would say time management and understanding just kind of the dedication and the amount of persistence it's going to take to get through the material, to make yourself study, because the reality of it is it's on you to do. They're going to present you with the information, and beyond that, it's on you to master it and apply it and be prepared for your examinations and everything from that point. So for me, most definitely has been the kind of prioritizing, figuring out my study pattern and what works for me.
Yeah, so there's a group of 5 of us that routinely study together pretty much every day after class. We all get together, but we realized in foundations that because foundations to me was the hardest course we've had yet, and that required me to change my study habits, the way I looked at things, the way I learned. It required a lot of change, and I think we all quickly realized that we were going to have to kind of come at this together, for us all to learn. So we would we'd spend about 3 or 4 hours after class either studying independently, and if we have a question, we're able to ask the other guys.
And we go through a lot of practice questions together and review a lot of content, and just try to build each other up and help each other out as much as we can. But more than anything, I think we kind of just keep each other from going crazy. I know med school can be frustrating sometimes. Certain exam doesn't go your way. We're able to come together and realize that we're all in it together and we're there to support each other. So that's been awesome.
Who's the dead weight?
Peyton.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest thing about Bowling Green is it is such a small knit community. You always have someone to reach out to and that's there for you at all times. I graduated from Campbellsville University, which is a smaller university. So just the small class sizes and being able to know your faculty and staff. I just feel like you can't find that anywhere else, and just being able to rely on your classmates and knowing them on a first name basis within the first 2 days of class is just something that you just can't find.
My favorite part's probably just been the small community. Only having 30 students in your class, you really get to know everybody. Everybody's always helping each other out. And then just we're right next to administration. If you ever need anything, everybody knows your name. You can go over there and talk to Kent, talk to Shyler for hours on end, and they're always there for you when you need them.
We're very close to the administration, the faculty, and so forming those relationships with the students and with the staff and everyone here just makes it feel like a community within the community, and I'm very grateful for that.
We have awesome staff here that like to put together little activities for us to do.
Yeah.
So actually, as we're speaking today, we just got out of a little lunch that was called Hoops and Soups to celebrate March Madness. So you have that to look forward to.
So my 30 classmates, I know their names, I know their spouses, their significant others, their birthdays, things like that. So for me, Bowling Green, taking things kind of from the Lexington scale and bringing it down, it's really kind of given me a more close-knit group. I know a lot about my classmates, and I think moving forward, that's going to turn into something that I'm proud to say. I have 29 classmates that I graduated with, and I can tell you where each of them are right now and what they're doing, because I think this is kind of breeding into us that identity of community, and I think that's something to be very, very proud of from this campus.
Obviously, our new building, I mean, it's incredible, brand new. We're the first 30 students to be in this building.
I don't know how many people are familiar with UK's campus, but if you have to park at Kroger Field and walk a long way up to the medical school there, and here you just park right outside the door, which is really nice. And we've got a tight-knit community here. There's only 30 students in each class, and we have right outside our classroom, we have a lounge, really nice lounge.
Personally, I like to study at this school in the study spaces we have here. I know a lot of students prefer to study from home, but I'm usually here most of the day, every single day, and on the weekends.
One of the really cool things I think about the partnership with the Med Center is the research that we can do. I've already done one project, Shelby's about to start another one, and I might hop on that. So there's just because we're the only students here, there's a lot of opportunities.
For the partnership with Med Center, I've taken part in a research project in anesthesiology so far, and we completed that not too long ago, so that was really good.
Every time we've been there, they've offered us times to shadow, times to come back again.
Everyone at Med Center Health, I don't think I've ever seen people so excited to have students following them around, and I mean, it's to the point that they ask us, hey, are you free? Do you want to come do this? I'm doing this surgery. Do you want to come watch? And so it's very engaging.
So being partnered with WKU has a lot of advantages, both academically and non-academically. Our anatomy lab is over on the WKU Nursing Buildings campus.
So with UK's partnership with WKU here in Bowling Green, that's given us some unique opportunities. For me, I'm very interested in sports, and I'm actually on the intramural chair here. So what that means is basically I help the the medical students here, get plugged into WKU's intramurals. So honestly, just to have that option is awesome.
I've personally been involved with volleyball and dodgeball. Some of my friends have done basketball as well.
Intramural sports are pretty awesome. I'm the intramural sport bench warmer. I'm not coaching or anything, but I like to participate. There are tons of collaborative opportunities with Western. One that comes to mind was ICATS. They do the same thing in Lexington with their other professional students, but we got to spend some time with nursing students and physical therapy students that are here at Western, and just kind of see what their line of work is all about and how we can collaborate in the future.
Being partnered with Western Kentucky gives our students opportunity to do a couple of different things. I got a master's in business admin from Western Kentucky, and our students can do the MD MBA or the MD MPH, which is Masters of Public Health at Western Kentucky. You have the athletics access, you have access to the gym, the library, just truly any of their facilities, because they are, like I said, I think about 1.5 miles away from here. So it's just highly convenient, and they are very welcoming of us, despite the fact that we wear a different color.
This is actually the biggest city I've ever lived in. There's all sorts of restaurants. Can't even name half of them. So, having all those options, and the city's been very welcoming to us medical students, and they seem to be really excited that we're here.
I feel like Bowling Green is just as excited to have us as we are to be here and to work with them.
I think this community offers a lot without being so massive that you feel lost in the muddle and the hustle and bustle of things. So everything that we need to get to is within figuratively 10 minutes of you, no matter where you are.
I mean, there's tons of places to eat, lots of things to do. We have minor league baseball here. All in all, it's just a really great city in my opinion.
It's a community here. I think Bowling Green is someplace that welcomes you in, so it kind of becomes your home even if it was not your first home.